Hello, I'm Georgia Shakti-Hill, and I want to welcome you to Living in Balance. We're living in balance with alternative medicine. That is our series. We could not do that without including the Chinese medicine. And among those things that we find very interesting are both Tai Chi and Qigong. So this is a story of Tai Chi and how it could benefit you. So do come join us. So I'm pleased to have with us Walter Hayley. Now, Walter, you are a practitioner of Chinese medicine, which includes both acupuncture and Qigong.
Correct.
And I've asked you to explain to us the difference between Tai Chi and Qigong.
Okay. Well, first let me say it's an honor and a pleasure to be back here with you again.
Thank you.
Tai Chi has been around for about 1,500 years now, and it is actually a part of the Qigong broader umbrella. Qigong's probably been around an estimated 5,000 to 10,000 years, and it's the parent of not only Tai Chi, but of the martial arts as well. The basic difference is that Qigong tends to be repetitive, and quite often it doesn't involve the movement of the feet. Sometimes it does, but not always. Where Tai Chi tends to be more choreographed and more flowing from one stance to another. Qigong, you're repeating the same movement maybe a dozen times. Tai Chi, you repeat the same movements, but they're always interspersed, spaced with other movements. It's more of a dance.
And it's beautiful to watch. I think of it as meditation in motion.
Exactly.
Both are beautiful to watch. But one thing that we've seen, I think maybe television has brought it to us, where we see in China, we'll see all of the old ones and the young ones, and they're all doing these beautiful, beautiful movements and so forth.
Yeah.
And
it is very meditative and relaxing.
It is, but it is part of the whole spectrum of Chinese medicine.
It is.
Okay, and so it goes back very far in time, as you said, thousands of years.
It's really the cornerstone of acupuncture and Tui Na, which is Chinese body work. And
Yeah.
it really is. I mean, it's all based on the flow of qi, this innate energy that just passes through everybody when you're healthy and becomes bogged down, and that's the first sign of illness.
It's that flow of qi.
Exactly.
Well, we visited you in your class, and so we're going to see a class in Qigong.
Great.
And as we watch that, our audience can even join us if they like.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is beautiful to watch. So we are here with Walter Hayley at the Way of Wellness Learning Center, and this is where you are a teacher of Qigong.
Correct.
And you are an acupuncture physician.
I am.
And tell us about Qigong, because that is sort of the umbrella for many different things, including Tai Chi. Is that right?
Tai Chi and martial arts, the core of each is considered Qigong.
Okay.
Yes. Qigong's breath work, the idea of cultivating and breath in a deeper sense rather than just normal breathing, but that's inclusive as well. But breath in the sense of the vital essence, the life force.
Oh, okay.
So this is about learning to be aware of it and how to cultivate it.
And how does the breath work correlate with martial arts? How do they blend together?
It's the coordination of body, mind, and spirit, the idea of synchronizing the thought processes with the physical movements of the body and the added emphasis of the breath.
Okay, so that's where it becomes so powerful.
It is. That's exactly where it becomes powerful.
Because we've seen it in some of the movies.
Yes.
And
yes.
There are incredible things that can happen with Qigong.
And it all starts with the breath.
Can you do some of those incredible things, Walter?
Maybe one or two. Depends on who you talk to.
Well, we're going to watch your class, and we'll
Okay.
find out how you're teaching and sharing this power of Qigong.
My pleasure. Get the rest of the body involved by shifting your weight from leg to leg. Feet are about shoulders width apart. Keep the knees flexed. And on the next inhale, as you exhale, we're going to rotate this ball around to the right side. Just rotate the waist. Keep the feet firmly rooted. Keep the palms facing one another. As you inhale and work at your own pace, as you inhale, come back to the center position. Then exhale to the left. Just let the waist do the turning. The rest of the torso simply follows it. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Come back to center, inhaling. Slow and smooth. Exhale left. When we come back to the center, we're going to ease into the rest posture. Palms are facing the lower belly. Legs are relaxed. The arms are soft and gently rounded. From here, the next movement is Chai. Inhale, gather a small ball of energy at the level of the waist, bring it up to the heart. As you exhale, lean into your right knee and extend diagonally. Keep the feet firmly rooted. Right arm up and out, left down and out. Palms are both out, fingertips are up. Inhale, shifting back to center. Draw the ball of energy up the midline again. The level of the heart, move to the left, exhaling. Scoop in and under. This time the hands will ride up and down the midline. Right hand rises, left hand falls. Press out as you exhale. Return to center as you inhale. Equal opportunity for the left hand. Rising, right hand descends. Come back down and repeat that sequence. Diagonally to the right. In and under with the inhalation. Diagonally to the left. Take your time, don't rush. Back under. Once again, up and down the midline. Back in and into the rest posture.
This way of wellness is your center, and you believe that there is such a gift from the ancient Chinese philosophy of healing that we can bring it into our lives now.
Absolutely. And our emphasis is really to educate people, to share our learning, the learnings that we have been able to derive from the Chinese teachings. There's certainly a need for professionals, whether we're talking Western medical doctors or acupuncturists or whatever. And at the same time, there's a simultaneous need for people to be able to take better care of themselves. At one time in our history, that was the norm, and now it's become less and less so. But through these sort of exercises, people can do this every day, minimum of training, minimum of space, minimum of time. Just a little bit of conscientious effort is really all it takes, and you'll find that life will be a little better. You'll have less and less need to visit these professionals again, not eliminating them, but just being able to take care of yourself a little better.
Now, this philosophy began with you in 1971, where you were in Korea.
Correct.
Yeah, and you learned from the environment where you were involved at that time about this?
I was stationed on a radar site up in the demilitarized zone, and we would be left on the site for about a week at a time, and then they would ferry us back and forth by truck or helicopter. And in between, we would have 3 or 4 days off. But while we were actually on the radar site itself, there were no medical facilities at all. So I sort of watched what the Koreans were doing to take care of themselves, and they were practicing martial arts, Tai Chi, that sort of thing. So I started doing what they were doing. It was really the only way of, I mean, we had aspirin and Band-Aids, and that was about it. So you really had to learn how to take care of yourself.
Uh-huh. And it was something that you just attuned to then?
I really did. I don't know where this came from in my background, but I've always had sort of a natural affinity for the ways of the East, Eastern philosophies, that sort of thing. My father was a real interesting guy. He was sort of a Renaissance man. He did everything. He'd pull the engine out of a '57 Ford one day and be carving a piece of artwork the next day. And he didn't do a lot of any one thing, but he did do some interesting things, and a lot of it had an Asian sort of, the artwork had a lot of Asian influence in it, and it was readily there in the house and very easy to see. And at the time, I didn't make the connection, but now I look back and I say, well, where did this start? And that's what I have to point to.
Well, I'm glad that it did. And so from this, you've become an acupuncture physician, and we're going to talk more about this whole philosophy and how people can incorporate it in their lives. So if you'll stay tuned, we'll be right back with more of Tai Chi, Qigong, and Chinese medicine. And if you are just joining us, I'm Georgia Shakti-Hill. Our subject is living in balance with alternative medicine, and today we're talking about Tai Chi, also Qigong, and the Chinese healing philosophy with Walter Hayley. And Walter, I've seen you in action, and there is actually, I referred to the power of Qigong, and there actually is healing work that you do that you don't even have to touch someone. It's kind of like not even a laying on of hands, but it's, can you explain that part of the Qigong to us?
No.
Okay.
I'll try.
Okay.
There is an energy that is pervasive. It surrounds us. It's kind of like fish swimming in water. They don't necessarily realize the water is there, although they can adjust to the currents of it. Well, it's the same thing with us in the environment. This energy is all about us. It permeates every cell of the body. And it's a very subtle energy, so it takes a certain concentration to create the awareness that allows you to sense it. Once you sense it and you become more aware of it, you can start to manipulate it in a good sense. And you can focus it, and with the right intention, the right intent, you can actually not only move it around your body, but you can move it externally as well.
And that's actually part of the whole philosophy of Qigong, is it not?
Absolutely,
Okay.
it is. Qigong basically means breath work, but it also means energy work or energy manipulation.
We're going to watch Lydia Wong with a friend and myself, and we were doing Tai Chi, and you said it's quite a bit of the Qigong work too. And we talk about breath, of course, because it's always there, the breathing technique. So we're going to watch a little bit more of the Tai Chi. I think it's beautiful to see it in motion. Yeah.
Opening up to the sky to invite the heavenly energy to come into you. And as you exhale, and again, inhale, open to the sky, and exhale. Soften the knees now. So you learn to keep your tendons relaxed. Exhale. Here comes embrace tiger. Cross your wrist in front of your chest. Inhaling, split the arms, turn them and press to the floor.
Embrace tiger.
Yeah, just embrace tiger. Return to mountain. And then we can just do very simple things like stepping out to the right on your heel and imagine you are a wave. And the energy is just flowing outwards and coming in. So most importantly is the breathing. So let's say inhale and exhale. Because, you know, Tai Chi is for calming the mind. And if your mind is not calm, the body will not, right, be relaxed. So very important to have your breathing, your awareness, all moving as one. Okay, let's take the hands out and then like a wave, just go over to the other side. And then we do exactly the same. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I call as the wave. So even if you don't do the movement correctly, just visualize yourself moving like the wave. And let's do cloud hands. So we'll just come over to the side and
this is cloud hands.
Cloud hands. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So the movement is coming from the waist. You're going to turn the waist and just let your arms stay in front of your chest. And imagine you're just drawing away all the tension from the forehead and out. How do you like this one?
I love this one.
Yeah.
Yes. And what
We're
would we...
going to do a very slow, like making a beautiful circle in front. We're shifting the weight from the right to the left. And of course, inhale, half a circle. Exhale for half a circle. And you notice that all these exercises are like solo exercises that you can do. You don't need much space. Inhale. And then how about the beautiful figure 8?
So that 8 brings us back to balance again, of course.
Again. So again, balancing left and right brain. And Tai Chi is the best exercise for that.
Now, because it's been called meditation in motion, one of the students had told me that she can't meditate, but she can do Tai Chi or Qigong, and that she focuses. And so meditation and visualization are an important part of it?
They are. First, let me say it's in our culture, it's really hard for people to sit still.
Yes.
So these moving sort of exercises are a great way to begin. And there's certain imagery that go with the exercises to enhance the effect. So yes, visualization and imagination, if you will, are great benefits that compound the overall effect.
And you teach meditation and visualization as part of the whole overall wellness program. And what are you talking about visualizing? What is the calming aspect there?
It could be visualizing a real pleasant scene that will help bring down blood pressure, for instance, or just to calm someone in general. The U.S. Surgeon General says that 70% of illness is stress-related. So obviously it would be a big benefit there. You could be visualizing dragons carrying off cancer cells or malignant tumors or whatever, and all of this is going to help. I talk to a lot of people who are a little hesitant to visualize things. And when you talk to them about playing golf, you know, visualizing the shot before they actually try to make it, then it makes more sense. Well, this is the same thing, but in a different context.
And I like that you use the dragon as the example there. And your website is Dragon's Gate Inc.
Dragon's Gate.
Okay, and what is the Dragon's Gate?
Dragons in Eastern philosophy are very benevolent creatures. They're powerful, they're wise, they're energetic, they're compassionate, they're energetic, and so on. Gate in Chinese translates as the word men, M-E-N, and the acupuncture gates are called men. It just means an opening, passageway, and ideally if the gate is working properly, it swings back and forth, allowing the energy to move more evenly. So this is, that's where the name came from.
And you have acupuncture and acupressure as part of the work that you do.
Correct.
And so what we're talking about then, again, is the meridians and that flow of qi, isn't it? Yes. And if it isn't flowing, then we're in trouble.
Typically, yes.
Okay.
That's where illnesses first begin.
Okay.
When the energy isn't either, it's either deficient or it's not flowing properly. It becomes stagnant. Just like water sitting in a reservoir.
And if we come back to the idea of the Tai Chi and Qigong, those movements, I've been told, actually even sort of massage the inner organs. Okay, so
Absolutely.
as you're going through the Qigong movements, then are you making the qi flow? I mean, is that part
You
of
are,
the whole thing?
absolutely. Not only are you making it flow, but you're eliminating some of the things that keep it from flowing. Think of it in terms of the channel being a garden hose and the energy moving through it being the water. Well, if you're tense all the time, that hose tightens up, whether it's mental tension or physical tension, muscle tension. So these movements are done to begin to release some of that stress, some of the tension, and therefore the water or the energy flows through more evenly.
And lastly, I wanted to ask you about diet, because one of the gifts that you share is dietary counsel. And what are you recommending as far as food and eating?
It really depends on the individual, but essentially for most people, it's just a matter of balance and a matter of common sense. You know, if you put junk in, you're going to get junk out. Most people would never think of putting grain alcohol in their automobile. You know, they want to put the best gas based on the manufacturer's recommendations. Well, the manufacturer may not give us specific recommendations when it comes to the body, but after a while you start to know what works for you and what doesn't.
And so we do look at the whole person. We look at every aspect, from the way they're moving
Absolutely.
to what they're eating, what they're visualizing, and that is the Chinese philosophy.
And how they're breathing.
And how they're breathing, coming back to the breathing techniques. Okay, well, I thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure being here with you.
And you have served us well. If you would like to be in touch with us, or if you would like to be in touch with Walter through us, stay tuned. We'll let you know how. And then when we come back, we'll have some parting thoughts. The first time I ever saw someone do Tai Chi, it was on the Gulf of Mexico, and it was at sunrise, and it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. It was like poetry in motion. It was meditation in motion. And I found that just watching it is very healing, and doing it is very healing too. You might want to try a little Tai Chi, Qigong. You know, the ancient Chinese did have some wonderful healing techniques. Until next time, I'm Georgia Shakti-Hill. May you be well, happy, and peaceful.